Well, I'm about froze up here, so let's get to roll. Hi, I'm Jim Felton, my wife Susan, my daughter Sydney, our other daughter Quincy, and my dad Richard. Welcome to Felton Angus Ranch.
Hello and welcome to today's show. We're heading north to Felton Angus Ranch at Springdale, Montana, where we'll visit again with the father and son team of Richard and Jim Felton and see their working class seed stock operation. Year after year, Felton Angus Ranch continues to provide reliable, growthy Angus cattle to ranching operations all across the nation. We'll see some good livestock on the show today and talk with stockmen who know these genetics from years of use.
You know, at Felton Angus Ranch, I think we're supplying our customers a hardy, tough animal. And I think in this business, especially the registered business, a lot of guys have lost really focus on what matters to the commercial cowman, and you know, we haven't. You know, our cattle here at Felton Angus Ranch, I mean, I think they're known for being hardy, you know, and that's what counts. I mean, you need to get the cows bred up, and it doesn't, like I said, you know, you can throw all the fancy advertisement, all the big numbers at people, and say, oh man, look at my genomic enhanced EPDs. Well, that's great, but you can throw that right out the window if your bulls fall apart on you halfway through breeding season. I mean, you know, we're trying to, you know, give a guy a hardy product that you know, gets out and gets cows bred up and stays in the herd a long time.
It's hardy Angus livestock and gorgeous big sky country on this episode of The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick, and we'll be right back.
Superior's Country Page is the go-to marketplace if you're in need of buying or selling cattle right now. The Country Page offers feeders, calves, bred stock, and more. Cattle ranchers like the Country Page because it's easy to use. Cattle have a set asking price, and then you have the ability to bid at your own pace. Superior's Country Page also has 24/7 customer service to help you find what you're looking for. Call Superior today and see how the Country Page can help you.
What's in a name?
Superior Livestock Auction.
Reputation? Integrity? Creativity? What's in our name?
Superior Livestock Auction.
The industry-leading livestock marketing company that focuses on its roots, serving the cattle industry for over 25 years. We grew out of a need and blossomed into a leader. We understand that a name means far more than just some words on a page. It's character and history. It's lifelong endeavors. It's your identity. What's in a name?
Superior Livestock Auction. Market your cattle the superior way.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. Felton Angus Ranch steadily maintains an independent approach to raising cattle. The family began raising notable beef cattle in the early 1950s and has become established as an outcross bloodline program within Angus circles. Richard and Jim Felton keep working their plan that is working for many commercial cattlemen.
Well, yeah, Felton Angus Ranch, we're a pretty independent bunch of folks. You know, we kind of do our own thing. We breed the type of cattle that we know will work for our customers. You know, we're not a card-carrying member of the Sire of the Month Club like most Angus breeders are, and you know, we don't think we got to go jump off a cliff with a hot new sire, because they're usually gone in 2 years anyways, and then you're like, then you don't want to pass that stuff on to your customers. So we do what we like. We do what our customers tell us. I'm not gonna do something that somebody else is advocating if my customers don't like it.
In the 1800s, the Felton family came to Montana from the Carolinas and lived in several parts of the western half of the state. Raymond and Margaret Felton farmed about Charlo in the 1940s and had an active milk cow business. Their sons, Maurice and Richard, migrated out of the dairy cattle business and began selling Angus bulls about Missoula during the 1950s. There, they would top the local markets with the cattle they raised.
Been in the Angus business since 1950, and we've basically raised all the offspring to what our herd is today. Once in a while we buy a heifer, but basically it's all home-raised stuff. And now I'm the second generation, Jim's the third generation, and he's got some kids, and my two daughters have some kids that like the cattle operation, and so we're heading into the fourth generation of Felton family.
Felton Angus is a family operation that ranches in both Miles City and Springdale, Montana. They began raising registered Angus cattle in 1952 and steadily grew from there to their present standing as a quality breeder with a working class mindset. They handle the vast majority of their own chores and really enjoy relating to cattlemen.
Here at Felton Angus Ranch, we're a family operation. Dad and I and my mom, Carol, does all the registration and cattle work. We got some good employees that work for us and work their tail off. And we're not the sit in the office kind of guys, so you'll see us out doing anything that needs done. We'll be involved with haying and fencing and farming. We'll be right out there getting dirty. So when you call and talk to us about cattle, we don't have to pass the phone call on to somebody else that knows the cattle. We know them, and I think that's important when it comes to customer service. And guys sitting in the office, you call them up and say, tell me about lot 250, what are they going to know about them? So I think that we get out and work with them and know what we're talking about. I think that goes a long ways of helping you get what you need.
This ranch here we purchased in 1971, and it's basically the bull operation. Then in 1996 we purchased the Tongue River Ranch, is where I live, and we have most of the cows and the females down there, the herd bulls. We have about 500 acres of irrigated land, and the rest is dry land range. And so, but we run the cattle just like the commercial man does in the hills. That's the way they got to make a living. They're strictly grass cattle.
Here at Felton Angus Ranch, we expect our cattle to make a living for us and everybody else that uses them. And where we live and we run the bulls, we experience basically four seasons. We have winter like we got right here, and then we also do get very hot temperatures in the summer, 100 degrees plus. And so we've got our cattle out in the hills running in this stuff and in the heat of the summer, up and down the hills and in the rocks, and I think they adapt to that type of climate. And from what I'm hearing, we've got cattle working down in the southern region and in the Midwest, and they seem to adapt to all that. We just really don't hear any problems about them not being able to take the extreme heats or the humidity. I actually had one customer tell us that he said, heck, them Felton bulls, it don't matter. He's down in Oklahoma. He said them Felton bulls be 105 and humid, and he says they're out breeding cows. He said the bulls we bought out of Texas and Oklahoma laying in the shade in the water. So I would say that pretty much tells you that, it's the way we run them. It adapts them to anything that you know, they're going to run into, and they'll flourish in it.
The Felton's prime cow herd is located at their Miles City Ranch. The Springdale, Montana ranch was purchased by the Feltons in 1972 and is their present-day sale location. The bulls and heifers are fed and cared for at the Springdale operation. The Feltons run a working-class type outfit in terms of operation and attitude. They raise their registered Angus like commercial stockmen. The cattle range in very big and rugged country where the winters are quite cold. The vast majority of the Felton customers are commercial cattlemen.
The Felton bulls are just, they're easy keepers. You don't even notice they're there. They're all doing their own thing, aggressive for looking for open cows, cows in heat. They're on top of it. They don't waste time. We were very pleased with it. We've noticed a huge improvement in is our weaning weights by tenfold. I mean, we've probably gained 100, 150 pounds on weaning weights. Some of the biggest weaning weights we've had by far.
Conception rate on our cows has been very good. I think we hit probably 99% this year after preg check, so it was real good. We're real happy with that.
Bred back fast and on time.
Yep.
The calves, the minute they hit the ground, they're up and at them, looking for that udder, looking for milk. They don't waste any time. We had quite a few new heifers in the herd this year, never pulled one calf. The calving is just excellent, awesome.
The Felton herd sire battery, as you might expect, has been developed on the principles and traits that Richard and Jim know will work for their customers. Cattle that possess top, that are easy fleshing, and have growth, as well as calves successfully. They sustain a consistently productive set of bloodlines that will work and provide outcross bursts to most cow herds. The Feltons have been in the Angus business for a long time. To coin a phrase, they are the producers of working-class cattle for the working-class rancher. Their genetics are not known everywhere, nor are they being publicized on the cover of the latest beef journals. Their program is all about stock that will range and rustle a living, and breed and produce calves that will put pounds on the ground.
We kind of pride ourselves in producing a product here that goes out and works, you know, covers the country, gets these guys' cows bred up in a timely fashion. I would say we're pretty independent here at Felton Angus Ranch. People get the catalog, they see the American Rancher, and they request a catalog, and we ship them one, and then they call you back and say, wow, your catalog's like a breath of fresh air to us, because I've never seen this stuff before. You can come here and get something different, and if you're running a bunch of cows that are bred to EXT and a bunch of Traveler and stuff like that, you can go buy a bunch of bulls here that don't have that in it or very little of it, and you know, it'll diversify your genetics in your herd.
The Feltons understand the value of cattle that work and directly know how maintenance factors into a cattle operation. They do their own chores and endeavor to raise beef cattle that will not increase the workload of their customers by requiring an overload of attention and oversight.
That's kind of our philosophy. You kind of want a trouble-free cow, you know, trouble-free cattle. Stockmen that use Felton bulls, you know, they're looking to sell feeder cattle that weigh up. You know, the more pounds you put on a truck every fall, the more money you're going to make. Dad likes a lot of length in the cattle, and if you've got cattle that are built right with a lot of length, you know, if they're built like a block of salt, they're thick, but they're short coupled, they're going to have hard calving. So if you give them a long product that stretches out, I mean, they can have, you know, have a lot of meat in them, but if they're stretched out right, they're just going to shell right out of them cows, and your calving problems are not going to, I mean, it's not going to affect your calving, and you're just getting a bunch of free pounds. You know, they're getting a tough animal, they're getting results in the calf crop, you know, they're getting outcross, and I think that's why they come here.
Felton Angus has always purposed their operation to be a source of genetics that ranchers can depend on.
You know, I had one customer last year tell me he had a 10-year-old Felton bull still breeding cows. That's 10 years old. We think our cattle are very long-lived. You know, there's a lot of 5-6-year-old Felton Angus bulls out there still breeding cows. and they're just, I don't know, they just seem to stand up. They're structurally sound. You know, they get out and move well, and they're not short coupled. You know, we don't want you going out and picking the bulls up out of your cows in August or whenever you gather and kind of scratch your head and say, wow, are them the bulls I bought?
They really aren't concerned about taking the headlines in the latest breeder circle journals. Those of you that know them know what I mean. The focus is set on the commercial cowman and keeping him in business. Jim and Susan are great down-to-earth folks, and when we come back, we'll talk more with the Feltons and their customers. This is The American Rancher. Stay with us.
The wait is over. Superior Livestock is now offering an online store where you can buy everything Superior. From ball caps, vests, jackets, gloves, and more, Superior's online store has what you're looking for. Plenty to choose from for men and women, whether you're shopping for yourself or in need of that perfect gift. Go online today at superiorlivestock.com and click on our online store. You'll be glad you did.
Tune in to The American Rancher here on RFD TV. Each week, we bring you the stories from the people and places that make ranching an American lifestyle. It's both the heritage and enterprise of livestock production across our nation each week from the people that do it. Check RFD TV, the magazine, for times and listings in your area, and visit our website, theamericanrancher.com. Thanks again to all of you for watching The American Rancher.
For more than 30 years, the Fort Worth Stock Show Syndicate has been about the business of supporting youth in agriculture. It's been a great time, a great work, and a great story of support of the city's grandest tradition.
Hi, I'm Kirby Schnorr. Join me on Saturday, February 6th on RFD TV at 9 a.m. Central for the 2016 Cell of Champions, live from the West Arena at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. Many Felton Angus customers are long-standing repeat buyers. The reason is simple: they get results. Felton Angus are cattle that are bred to sire calves that will put pounds on the ground and get it done in the feedlot. Here's more on our story. Felton Angus is an independent-minded operation that has maintained itself as an outcross genetic source. The solid Angus bloodlines they use and propagate are not seen in a lot of other places. Sometimes it can be hard for a rancher to get something different in his herd. This is where Felton genetics come in.
But as a seed stock producer, our main goal is to raise breeding stock, whether it's males or females. And we go out and try, when we buy a new herd sire, we try to go buy the best ones we can find. And then we propagate that in the herd if they're what we want, and we do our best to improve the breed.
I think most of our customers come and they like the growth that the cattle have and the fleshing ability, and they range out. We raise them completely on dryland range conditions, so we like cattle that go out in the hills and make a living.
The Feltons continue to enjoy a growing number of friends on their Facebook page. It's a great way of relating to friends, family, and customers. Jim and Susan continue to post photos and keep folks updated from the beautiful country where they ranch and make their home.
Here at Felton Angus Ranch, we're very involved with social media. You can follow us on Facebook and see what happens here day to day. Jim is very active on keeping people informed what's going on, and he takes videos and shows everybody what he's doing every single day, whether it's feeding cattle in the snow or farming, well into the night. He's very active on that.
You can follow Felton Angus Ranch on Facebook and Instagram, or you can also check us out at feltonangus.com.
The Feltons love the community about Springdale and support the youth there and stay active with the happenings around town.
We're very involved with community here at Felton Angus Ranch. We are on the county line between Sweetgrass and Park counties, so we are involved with both Big Timber and We work with the 4-H and FFA groups. We support the kids as much as we can. We buy steers and lambs and hogs at the fair. We're getting ready to host a field day for the beef kids here at the ranch to work on what to do with their steers, how to feed them, how to interpret some of the genetic data that we produce.
You know, sale day here's rather busy. We get people from all over the country. Last few years, that's really picked up steam. Last year, you know, we had people here from Wisconsin and Tennessee, which is probably the farthest we've ever had at a bull sale before. You know, a lot of activity going on, a lot of people. We got the bulls penned up. You know, we feed everybody a very good prime rib lunch, and then we get down to business in the sale ring.
The Felton program on the whole is an outcross program that contains some mainstream genetics. The program has been built by selecting and breeding bulls that are long and carry plenty of rib, have a big scrotal area, and are clean made and travel well. They respect EPD numbers while showing equal regard for phenotype. They say the thickness of their bulls is bred on, not fed on.
I think the quality of our stock here at Felton Angus this year is, you know, I would just say they're typical Felton bulls. They're big, stout, thick. They get out and move well. They're not overfed. We're not gussying them up with a bunch of fat. They're in their working clothes. You go ahead and if you want us to unload them in the pasture and put them right in your cows, they're ready to go. Our heifers are known for, you know, probably making some of the best mama cows in the business. And, you know, they're as good as it every year. You know, they're just going to make a nice set of mama cows. And I think our cattle go to work for anybody. And I think right now the bulls are probably looking for a job. New this year at Felton Angus Ranch at our bull sale, we're going to have about 60 of these heifer calves for sale. They're bull customers' heifers of ours. We thought they're really good replacement quality heifers, and they're 100% Felton Angus.
So if anybody's needing any good replacement heifer calves, you can't go wrong with these because they are awful nice.
You know, our philosophy is here is, you know, if you've got a 70-pound calf that's built like a block of salt, you know, short, coupled, that cow or heifer is going to have problems, you know, having that calf. You know, it all depends on how the calf is made. So if you have a 70-pound block of salt calf, or you got a 95-pound calf that's got a lot of length and stretch, actually that cow's probably going to have that 95-pound calf easier than a little block of salt per se. And I'm going to be honest with you, that 95-pound calf, come weaning time, it's going to weigh a lot more than that little 70-pound calf. And your payday and your check you get from that cattle buyer is going to be considerably bigger, and you're not going to work it. You're not going to work any harder for it.
Make plans for the Felton's 43rd annual production sale that comes your way Monday, February 8th at 12:30 p.m. Mountain, right here on Dish Network 232. The auction is brought to you by Superior Productions. The Feltons are great folks, and they invite you to look into these Angus genetics. They continue to be the working class producer for the working class rancher. We'd like to thank Felton Angus Ranch for a great show and a visit to their fine Montana operation. Jim and Susan invite you to friend them on Facebook. You can reach them by email at jim@feltonangus.com or call them at 406-932-6726. You can also reach Jim on his cell at 406-220-1177. For our customers on the Gulf Coast region, you can talk with Matthew Absher at 423-963-6153. For more information about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or find us on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you. I'm Pam Minnick. For the entire American Rancher team, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.